Most people don't actually want freedom, not because they are weak, but because the familiar feels safer than the unknown. Even when the familiar hurts, that is why patterns repeat. Not because you consciously choose suffering, but because your nervous system chooses familiarity. And this is important to understand. The pattern is not just mental. It lives in the body, in your reactions, in your impulses, in the speed at which you text back, the tension in your chest, the urge to escape, or the need to hold on. Most people try to break patterns by fighting behavior directly, but behavior is the surface. The real pattern begins earlier. It begins in sensation. A feeling appears, discomfort, loneliness, fear, and almost immediately, the body moves to escape it. You scroll, you text someone, you distract yourself, you overwork, you withdraw. Not because you are broken, but because your system learned survival through reaction. And here is the trap. Every time you react automatically, the pattern strengthens. The brain learns, this keeps me safe, even when it doesn't. So how do you break it? Not through force, not through pretending to be healed, and not by becoming emotionally numb. You break the pattern by interrupting the automatic reaction. That moment, right before you act, is where your freedom exists. Right before sending the impulsive text. Right before shutting down emotionally. Right before seeking validation again, there is a small space there. Most people never notice it because they move too fast. But if you can slow down enough, you begin to see the machinery. The trigger, the emotion, the impulse, the reaction. And once you can observe it, without immediately obeying it, something powerful begins to happen. The nervous system starts learning that the feeling itself is not dangerous. This changes everything because most people are not addicted to people or success or distraction. They are addicted to escaping uncomfortable feelings. That is why silence feels difficult. Stillness feels uncomfortable. Being alone feels heavy. Because without distraction, you finally meet yourself directly. And this is where transformation begins. Not when the feeling disappears, but when you stop running from it. Sit with the discomfort, without fixing it immediately, without escaping, without turning it into noise. Just observe it. You will notice something surprising. Feelings rise, peak, and pass. But because most people interrupt the process, they never realize the feeling would have passed on its own. Awareness changes the cycle, and repetition rewires it. Every time you pause instead of react, you weaken the old pattern. And every time you stay present through discomfort, you build a new relationship with yourself. A calmer one, a more conscious one, a freer one. Because real freedom is not controlling the outside world. Because real freedom is not controlling the outside world. It is no longer being controlled by your automatic reactions. And support the channel, like the video, subscribe, and stay with us because we're building this series deeper. The pattern does not break in one dramatic moment. It breaks in small moments of awareness, repeated consistently. And one day, you realize the thing that once controlled you no longer does.